Am I the a-hole for leaving my boyfriend because he brought his female best friend lingerie as a joke? Full story with update. My boyfriend, 28Ms, and I, 24F, have been together for a year and a half. I love him a lot, and he has been pretty amazing to me. He is also the sort of person who has lots of friends, and his close friends are pretty much family. He loves to joke and play harmless pranks on his friends, which sometimes makes me feel weird. Just for context, he has 2 female friends and 3 male friends. This is about my boyfriend and one of his friends, Claire, 28F. Claire is a nice woman, and we are friendly. My boyfriend has also never ignored me in favor of his friends or talked over me in front of them, which is why I don't understand if I'm in the wrong here. Recently, they, my boyfriend's friends, had an escalated prank war. I had made it clear to my boyfriend that I'm not good at jokes and that I'm rather stiff, and he said he would keep me out of it. Claire, my boyfriend, and another friend, Kyle, 27M, even had a huge water balloon fight in Kyle's backyard. Then my boyfriend got pranked with dye in his body wash. After that, Kyle got pranked by Claire with something involving whipped cream and oven mitts. But the issue came when my boyfriend bought a red lacy lingerie set and planned to put it in Claire's room the next time he went over. I said it was a tacky prank and asked why he would buy lingerie. None of the previous pranks had been like that, and it made me really uncomfortable. I also felt that if I were Claire, I'd feel grossed out by it. But my boyfriend got mad and defensive, telling me that Claire is cool like that and that she would think it was funny. I admit I get a bit weirded out when he calls Claire extremely beautiful and jokes about how she's always been way out of his league. But I thought it was nothing and that they were like family, so I assumed it was their thing. However, the lingerie prank made me put my foot down, and I said that he was wrong to give lingerie to another woman, no matter who, when he has a girlfriend. We fought, and I said I wanted to break up, which he didn't want. I then told him I was just overreacting. He said I was too conservative and needed to open my mind, insisting he had never given me a reason to feel insecure. Claire called me and said that she and my boyfriend have been friends for a long time, and that inside jokes are just that. She also said I'd understand better as I got older. I still feel weird about all of this. My best friend is supportive of me no matter what I do, but I've started to feel like I'm blowing this out of proportion. My boyfriend says that the fact that he told me about the prank and didn't hide it from me shows that I'm the problem. Now, I'm starting to feel like I've blown this out of proportion, and maybe it's my fault that I can't take a joke. I really feel awful about this whole thing. Am I the a-hole? Edit. The people asking about the lingerie prank. Apparently, it's an inside joke about how, during their college days, Claire had some issues with the color red. The lingerie was supposed to be a shock for her in some way, I guess. I told my boyfriend it was cruel, but he said it wasn't a trauma-related thing, just an inside joke. Claire also said over the phone that the lingerie prank is just something from their college days. Update. My inbox got flooded with DMs, and I had to turn off Reddit notifications. When I posted this, I was ready to be called immature and ridiculous, expecting just a few comments. But it seemed like the post blew up, and the comments were kind of eye-opening. To be honest, before all this fiasco, my boyfriend had always been nice to me. He came with me to my grad school functions, even though he found them very boring, but he would do it so I could network. He builds things like furniture and helps out with handiwork all the time. He's also very funny, and at the very beginning, I thought all his jokes were funny. I sometimes wondered why he wanted to be with me, especially since I was always busy with school and job interviews. His mom and I had even gotten close, and she had been saying how happy she was that we were together. I had always ignored his and Claire's weird dynamic because I told myself I was being insecure. I have male friends, too, and I thought that just because we weren't like that doesn't mean my boyfriend and Claire couldn't be close. Claire had also never been outright mean to me. She was just aloof, and I thought it was because I was new to the group. To the actual update, my boyfriend and I broke up. I'm sorry, guys, but even after seeing so many replies suggesting he was cheating, I refused to believe it. I'm still in love with this guy. He called me, like half a day after I wrote this post, and asked to meet. I met him, and he said that he understood where I was coming from, but that I was always too uptight to understand that friendship is just friendship. He and Claire had known each other for years before I came into the picture, and I cannot expect him to just ruin their dynamic. I asked him what sort of dynamic involved red lingerie. Why couldn't it be literally any other type of clothing? He told me he had it with my insecurities. He said that he and Claire talked, and apparently, I was making them sound like cheaters and homewreckers. He thought it was better I find someone like me, who thought the idea of a fun night was junk food and a movie indoors. That hurt a lot. He had always known I had insecurities about being called boring. He always complimented me on how his weaknesses were my strengths. Now he says things like this to me? Also, before this lingerie fiasco, I had never said a word about his and Claire's friendship. I always supported his pranks and practical jokes, no matter my opinions on them, because I thought it was his business what he did with his hobbies. And he leaves without even putting up a fight because his girlfriend didn't want him giving lingerie to the woman he constantly refers to as his sexy bestie. Claire didn't call or text after the breakup either, but Kyle did. He said that he was sad we broke up and hoped I would be okay in the future. I asked him if my boyfriend had ever cheated on me. He said my boyfriend had only been a one-woman man while we were dating, but he could understand that some women can't handle female best friends, especially if they look like Claire. I told him to off and blocked him. It felt like he only wanted to gloat and hurt me because my boyfriend left. I feel like I never knew these people. Claire and Kyle were always at least decent to me, if not nice. Does it make me a free target now that my boyfriend has been telling his friends I'm an insecure child? I don't know what to do now. I've been told repeatedly by both my friends and sister that I dodged a bullet, but I've been breaking down like a kid over and over again. I'm even thinking of going to therapy after feeling the most insecure I've felt my whole life. Thank you to all who were supportive. It seems like my now ex-boyfriend just did the work for me.